Hey guys, it's Greg at Vanguard Motor Sales. Man, I got a GT500 here. It's a 2021, just over 5 miles on this baby. Iconic silver. She is a golden ticket, so it's got the carbon fiber wheels, the wing, the dash, everything on this thing. Absolutely gorgeous. It's got the vinyl black stripe on it, looking sweet. This silver is really popping. That's why they're calling it iconic silver, man. She is looking sharp, and like I said, this thing has got just over 5 miles on it, so it is a brand new car, guys. She is an amazing piece. Now, I've told you on a few of these other videos that I get to drive one of these every day back and forth to work. I've got about 17,000 miles under my belt in one of these. I tell you, it is just a hoot to drive. She is a beauty. Check this thing out, man. The interior's amazing. Just everything about this car. I mean, this is a race car that you can drive back and forth to work every day. It's got the Recaro seats in it. Now, the golden ticket cars do not have a back seat. They took that back seat out for the weight. It's got all the other feature comforts that you need. It's got, of course, it's got air conditioning. It's got the paddle shifters. It's got that dual clutch 7-speed transmission. And I tell you what, the computer really knows how to work that transmission. You've got all your different settings on there. You got your normal setting, you got your track setting, your sports setting, drag race mode, slippery mode. I mean, just everything about it. Now, the wing is adjustable in the back, and the wing is carbon fiber. You see Mr. Cobra there. As you look down the side of it, man, doesn't it look badass? I tell you, just amazing looking car here. They really knocked it out of the park when they built this car, guys. They still got the window sticker in the passenger side here. She is a beauty. Now, at Vanguard Motor Sales, we don't do consignment. That means we own this Mustang, so you know we did our homework and checked it out before we bought it. The first thing we do to every car is we get them up on the lift and we shoot pictures and do a video and inspect the car. Of course, this one didn't need much inspecting because it's only got 5 miles on it. So you can call Tom anytime at 248-974-9513 and he'll park this dream in your driveway. All right, we're not gonna drive this car today, and here's why. 5.6 miles on it, and I know you guys who like to collect these babies don't want any miles on them, and baby, this has got to be one of the lowest mile ones out there. She is beautiful. She's a golden ticket. It's got the Recaro seats in it. I mean, these things are comfortable as can be. And a big guy will fit in this car too. Plenty of room here. And of course, we've got all the controls on the steering wheel. We got our paddle shifters here, which is very cool. One thing that I learned early on is if you pull back on both the paddles, you can rev the car up. Like when you're going down the road, it's kind of like pushing in on the clutch. And then I use the downshift one all the time. You know, you're coming up to a light or whatever, on the expressway, you want to slow down a little bit, pop that downshift. Of course, you know, it sounds great coming out of the exhaust. Of course, all the controls here. We got our Cobra settings here, which changes the dash, changes the settings, changes everything, man. You can do so many things to this thing. You could spend a week studying the manual and YouTube videos and everything about everything this thing will do. Now, the ones that I use, the traction control here, you flip this up once, the traction control goes off. If you hold it up for 5 seconds, the advanced track goes off. That means you can slide it sideways and whatever, and it won't take the accelerator away from you. Then you have your exhaust mode. I think there's 4 different settings there, and then your race mode. If you want to show them over here, you start bumping up the camera here, or the buttons. See, it says normal mode, there's sport mode, there's track mode, there's drag strip mode, there's slippery mode, and back to normal mode. And there is a lot of difference. Like in track mode, this baby keeps this thing at like 3,500 RPM before it shifts, and it is just a rocket ship. Then in track mode, those shifts are really hard, and not track mode, but drag race mode, really hard. It's just amazing car, guys. You're gonna have a blast. Now, we're real close to the airport here. If you'd like to fly in and check out any of our inventory in person, just give us a call. And if you want to drive in, no problem whatsoever. So call Tom anytime at 248-974-9513 and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this dream in your drive. All right, we're underneath the Mustang now, and man, 5 miles, you can really tell. She is gorgeous, man. Now we're gonna start right back here with the exhaust. Now there's that flapper in there that gives you 4 different settings, all the way from quiet to track mode. And one of the things that I've learned, you can go to the app and you can actually set your car up to start in whichever mode you want. And you can set a time, like between 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock in the morning. I've got mine to start in whisper mode. That way I don't wake up my wife when I fire up the car in the garage. You can see how nice and clean everything is. The exhaust, of course, looks brand new. I see, look at that, it's still got a tag on the exhaust. It's not even started to burn off yet. You can see also the lines here for the rear end. That is actually cooler lines. That runs the fluid back to a cooler and then back in here, so you got nice cool fluid inside your rear end. 373 gear in this baby, and you can see the lower control arm here is a massive piece of aluminum. Plus we've got braces in every direction here. I mean, everything, I mean, it's solid as a rock. Obviously, it has to be to hold that 760 horsepower back. And then we got 315s on the back, sticking all that horsepower down to the ground. The exhaust is just clean as a whistle. You can see all the heat shielding and everything here. Everything looking absolutely cool as can be. Now, the transmission, we'll talk about that for a second here. We got 7-speed dual clutch transmission here. Now, what that does is one clutch runs first, third, fifth, and seventh. The other one does reverse, second, fourth, and sixth. I think that's the quickest I've ever done that. Always getting confused. Anyway, 0.8 of a second between shifts. You can either use the paddles or you can set it in automatic mode and let the computer do the shifting. And man, the computer knows what it's doing. When you set it into track mode, into sport mode, into drag race mode, it changes how it shifts. You can see the skid plate here, not a mark on it, and be aware, the nose of this car is low. You don't want to run this splitter into the curb. And the car is about 2 feet longer than it looks when you're behind the wheel. So make sure when you pull up from a curb, you stay way back or you're gonna end up hitting that plastic on the curb. Now up front, we've got 305/30 20s. Of course, it is a golden ticket, so it's got the carbon fiber wheels. And then see that coating there? That's some space age NASA on the space shuttle heat coating that they put on here to protect the carbon fiber from those gigantic Brembo brakes. Now, when you chow the brakes on this thing, I tell you, it is a blast. Take this thing up to whatever speed you feel like and step on the brake. This thing will like to throw you out of the seat, man. It will stop on a dime. Now, you look down the side, man, that paint is looking sweet. That rocker molding also, you can see that it doesn't have a mark on it. Now out back, this is where the horsepower hits the road. It's got the Pilot Sport Cup 2s. Back here, 315/30 20s. And what was I gonna tell you? Oh yeah, the offset on the front and the rear wheels are different. Now I put new tires on my car last year and I just threw them on. Of course, I just had the aluminum wheels, so I couldn't tell you. See, the heat coating isn't on the rear wheels, it's just on the front wheels. Of course, everybody knows the front is where most of the stopping goes. Anyway, so the offset's just a little different, so make sure you keep the back and the front differentiated. Let's get under the hood and check out that Predator motor. All right, under the hood here, we've got the Predator, baby. 5.2 liter with a big old supercharger sitting on top. She makes 760 horsepower. And of course, these motors are all signed by the guy who built them. I can't really read his signature. Oh, maybe Matt. Yeah, it looks like Matt built this one. She's looking sweet under here. I tell you, it is a monster, guys, and I think I've already told you, I've gotten isn't that great English? I get to drive one of these every day, and I put a lot of miles on them. We have a lot of fun with it. It's fast as can be. Of course, power brakes, power steering, air conditioning. It's got all the creature comforts, and it's basically a race car. You got this strut tower brace here. That is magnesium to cut down on the weight. You can see your overflow tanks here. Up front here, we got a piece of carbon fiber here that's basically the radiator core support. It's looking sweet. I mean, everything about this car, man. Talk about technology. She is a monster. Now, it being a golden ticket, it comes with the oil separator here, which that separates any oil that comes out of the crankcase pressure before it gets re-injected into the motor. I tell you, she is a beauty. Oh, and also the battery is mounted right underneath that little cover right there. So if you need to get at the battery, it's right underneath there. And of course, you've got all your fuses and everything in here. Guys, give us a call. Oh, I forgot to say too, you get out on the racetrack, this cover actually comes off. This is just a rain cover to keep most of the water off the motor. So you get out on the track, or if it's a hot day or whatever and you want to let a little of the heat out, you can take this cover off, throw it in the trunk. Guys, give us a call, 248-974-9513, and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this dream in your drive.